Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my NHL 20 franchise mode here in Columbus, Ohio. In the previous episode, we finished up the 2038-2039 regular season, and as you can see right there, we won a few games this season. And by a few, I mean 62 to be exact. Should have won 63, but obviously in-season simulation is garbage and we lose to the Devils. We would have had a very similar record to last year, but no. Apparently not. And one of the biggest reasons we won 62 games is because we went on a historic 25-game win streak. Where did it all start? I believed it started right there against the Florida Panthers. Oh. Wait, I lied. Edmonton. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. I don't know if I did my math right last episode, but we still have the longest streak in NHL history by at least 5 games. Pittsburgh Penguins, a very long time ago, won 17 games in a row. We won very, very many games. So many games. And all of our players came in clutch. A lot of our guys had some of their best seasons. A few of the guys were a little off, but we're going to talk about that right here, right now. Jeffrey freaking Woodworth. He's almost 37 years of age, missed 5 games this season, but had one of his best seasons ever. He's actually dropped down to a 91 overall, so his retirement is upon us. I'm not sure if it's going to be this offseason or the next, but you know the best days might be behind him, even though he put up 130 points, which means that makes it 12 straight 100-point seasons, which is second all-time behind Wayne Gretzky. Did I say consecutive? He has 12 consecutive 100-point seasons, which is second all-time to Wayne Gretzky. I believe 13 is the most consecutive. I've said consecutive too many times. Stop it, Owen. You don't even know how to spell consecutive. 130 points. Plus 74, which might be one of his... That is literally his best plus minus. So, if he had played those 5 games, there's not a lot of evidence against the fact that that would have been his best season ever. His best ever is 134. He could have totally scored 5 more points in 5 more games. Easily. He's never scored less than 30 goals in his entire NHL career. I believe 18 years. 18? Yeah, 18 years. 20, yep. Wow, what a machine. What a machine. This guy. Well, we have to start appreciating this, because someday we're not going to be able to go in here and look at how awesome Jeffrey Woodworth is. He has 135 game-winning goals. And my phone went off. How professional, Owen. How professional. He has 623 power play points. 293 power play goals. He's almost played 1,600 games. 834 goals. 1,100 assists. Is he a top 5 NHL player of all time? Yeah, 5 Stanley Cups, 1 for every finger on his hand. I almost said hands. Nope, that's not how hands work. I don't want him to retire. I don't. But I also want him to go out on top and it be poetic. I'm not sure if this team feels the same as previous years. We've competed in 4 straight Stanley Cup finals. I'm not sure if that will continue this postseason, but if he goes out and retires on top, I have to be okay with that. He's an absolute beauty. Matthew Savoie I have to start giving more credit to this guy. He's still got his franchise potential. He's at one of his best overall ratings in his entire career at 35 years of age. That's absurd. That's absurd. He almost won the point scoring race on this team, but you know Jeffrey Woodworth is just otherworldly. He had 11 game winners. 11. You can't kill this dude, and he's never gotten the respect he deserves, and I am sorry I let you down. I am sorry, Savoie. You are, if not the most important player on this team. I know Jeffrey Woodworth. But the moment Jeffrey Woodworth got a center like Matthew Savoie, things started to change for the better. The MVP line is the greatest line in hockey history. No question about it. Joshua Waugh, 48 goals, 123 points, 1,751 points. He's just a machine. Like, this guy is one of the best ever to play almost 800 goals. He's played the least amount of games I'm not sure if that's right. How many games has Savoie played? Yeah, he's played the least amount of games, I believe. I can't really... My memory is going. Yeah, he has. That's strange. He's played the least amount of games of that line. I believe he's been the most injured, too. 78 there, but 65... Yeah, that does take a toll, but he hasn't been injured very much in his entire career. He's one of the best ever. MVP line is the greatest. Khalil Fallon. You know, 105 points was out of the question, but 96 is damn good. One of his best goal outputs in recent memory. 96 points is what I want him at for his career. If he can stay at a 90-point clip for the rest of his career, which is a lot to ask for, that would be huge for us. His takeaways to giveaway ratio is fantastic, and I didn't actually notice that until now. What a player. What an absolute player. We picked him, what? Second overall. I believe we let one of our players go and sign with the Rangers. Rangers or Detroit, and that pick turned into Fallon, if I'm not mistaken. If you want to prove me wrong, go ahead and go back and watch some of my older videos. Alexander Newhook, who we did acquire this past postseason, off-season. We picked him up. We paid a bit. We gave a medium elite goalie to the San Jose Sharks, who are one of the better teams in the NHL this year. So it worked out for both teams. They give away one of their best offensive players, but they get a goalie that really helps them out to become a team, a dominating team. I'm glad they're in the West. That's all I'm saying. Maxime Prohorkin, MP3, 43 goals, which is very impressive. 72 points is a dip from last year, but you gotta remember, I'm not expecting 93 points from this guy every year. I'm not. He is a bona fide goal scorer heading into the future. Him, Bobby Friesen playing together, it's going to be great. And when the time comes, he'll be that first-line left winger for the rest of his career, because it's hard to come by players like that in the draft or overall. Jacques Giroux dipped off again. He was scoring at a better pace than last year for the majority of the season, and then he just kind of dipped off. Less goals, one of his worst outputs. I mean, I thought he was going to be a bit better this year. I don't know why. We were playing him second line, which is something to keep in mind, but he seems like a really good postseason performer. 22 points, 15, 18, 20. He's got OT magic. Every time we jump into an OT, he looks to be really solid in that category. Bobby Friesen in his sophomore season did miss 2 games, so he was at about a 50-point clip, which is fantastic. Less penalty minutes, worse plus minus, so that third line was a bit shaky this year. Ola Jorgensen we did let go of. it was a weird line because they were a more offensive line, so they were putting up better offense compared to their defense. But going into the postseason, I need them to be putting up good points, especially Bobby Friesen, who had a fantastic postseason last year. Carol Hansel, who is pretty good defensively. I believe I was looking at his takeaways to giveaways last episode. They're not great, but for a sniper, wait, hold on. Wait. Last year his takeaways were way better. Usually he's a pretty good takeaway to giveaway guy. I don't know if it was because the players he was playing with in less defensive Newhook and Bobby Friesen. I don't know if that was one of the reasons, but that's what I expect from him. Not a great contract for a third liner, but with the assets that we had, he was perfect there at the moment. Jaden Swanson, 21 points, 14 goals, plus 13. He was definitely a bright spot on that fourth line. We have him for one more year. We did actually sign him to an extension for 3 more years, if I'm not mistaken. But he'll be a good depth player for the future, especially when we got guys like Paton and Makinen who are getting a bit upset with their playing time. I know they should be playing third line, but they're playing penalty kill lines. They're not good offensive players. Makinen has really taken a turn for the worst. He's upset. I don't know if we bring him back this offseason because we have a lot of guys asking for time in the NHL. One of his worst seasons by far. He was playing with good players, so there's not a lot of excuse from him. There's not a lot. Defense. Now, this was a weird year for defense, but at the start of the season, Abel Carlos, Cam, they were doing well. Cam was actually playing on the third pairing for the majority of the season. Second pairing, and I did that because our morale was really screwed up, and I don't like to see minuses, especially when we get a -3 and you're like, oh, what the hell am I supposed to do here? So, I believe it was 2 months in, we traded for one Walker Farmer from the Ottawa Senators. He played there for his entire career, 10 years to be exact. He comes over to Columbus, doesn't put up the best offensive number, 17 and 58, is not bad. 32 points in 84 games in the regular season as a defenseman is really damn good. And heading into the playoffs, we need a guy like that. And he isn't technically just a rental. We have him at another year at the exact same price at 3.9, which is really good considering how much defensemen cost this day and age. Mikko Jarvinen, when we moved him away from Stu Cam, he apparently put up way better numbers. His best offensive output in his entire career, 32 points, plus 81. Maybe that's something we look at in the future. Stu Cam is on his last legs, even though he's still a 95 overall. So that's definitely something to remember. Henry Schwartz, who is actually injured heading into the postseason. I'll keep a note of that. Owen, remember that before we simulate some games. Sucks losing him. He did miss 2 games to end the season. 13 points plus 28 is about what I expect for a rookie defenseman in the NHL. He's getting a bit older, but he definitely helped out in the defensive category. Pierre Jakobsen. He's a question mark heading into next season because he's going to ask for $5 million because somehow EA thinks this player would ask for $5 million, even though he is nowhere near worth that kind of contract. Not even 3, but defensemen ask for so much money. Vyacheslav Kavanov, the best goalie of all time, question mark. He might be. And if he can hold on to the reins here in Columbus for a few more years, 700, I'm not sure the exact number. I believe it's like 694 wins is the most all time. Martin Brodeur. If you don't know that, pick up a book or watch some YouTube videos. Martin Brodeur is a stud. Vyacheslav Kavanov is one of, if not the best goalie of all time. 4 Stanley Cups, I believe. Yeah, because we got rid of Askarov. We won two... I can't remember. It might be 3, but it might be 4. I'm not quite sure. He is an absolute machine. 918, I know it was backed off of a great defensive season and a great offensive season for this team, but he was so good, and I think that's something that I gotta keep in mind heading into the future. I remember a few years ago where Kavanaugh played less games. I believe it was right here. He played 54 games. We went 49-3, 8 shutouts, 924, and a 905. When we rest this guy a bit more and play our backup more, his stats seem to even out at a very elite levels. And you can say, yeah, that makes sense. He's playing less games. He gives up less goals. But they tend to do that in the NHL as well. I looked at Tuukka Rask and Halak from the Boston Bruins, IRL. They split them pretty evenly. Halak is a pretty decent backup goaltender, former Montreal Canadiens starter. Tuukka Rask is fantastic. I believe I just checked because I'm editing rosters as we speak for my next franchise mode. He has like a 923. So you play your backup a bit more, you rest your starting goalie heading into the playoffs. 49 wins in 61 games is one of the best ratios ever. And he is going to win the Vezina. I'm going to go through all the league-leading stats. Obviously, Shane Wright is going to win the Art Ross because he has the most points. He will probably take home the MVP trophy, but I think Jeffrey Woodworth has a case. I'm not going to lie. He lost 5 games in the season. He still put up 130 points. He's playing on a 62-win team, and he is a big reason we won so many games. Or a big part of the... He's a big part. He's a captain, obviously. He might take it home. Obviously, Shane Wright is the best player in the NHL, statistically wise, at this moment. Curtis Morgan with 111 assists. Now, I have not seen somebody break the 100-assist barrier, I believe, in this franchise mode. And I believe, all time, there's only 2 or 3 players ever to break 100 assists in a season. Wayne Gretzky did it a few times. Mario Lemieux, and that might be it. I believe there's one more player, but I can't recall at this point. He's very good, and he's playing with an Edo Iguchi that I'm very scared of. Defense. Now, Mancari led in points by 3, but Abel Carlos is going to win the Norris. Are you kidding me? Less penalty minutes, double the plus-minus, 64-35. He had basically the same amount of points, more goals. He... almost playing the exact same amount of minutes. He's so good. He's taking home that Norris. Goaltending, I don't even have to show you because Kavanaugh is by far the best goalie in the world. Max Gerber right there. Going to San Jose, what did I just say? He actually did drop to a medium starter, having a damn good season for the Sharks, helping them clinch a playoff spot, being one of the best teams in the league, I believe second, tied with the Edmonton Oilers, if I'm not mistaken. Goes out there, is one of the best goalies in the league. Good for him. But Kavanaugh is that much better. He's taken home trophies. Rookie skaters, I believe it is the Ottawa forward, Caden Henry. Yeah, he'll take that home. But now it's time to look at the Philadelphia Flyers, and I can't recall ever facing them. It might have happened once in the simulation, but I can't recall ever facing them. And I don't know why I went into edit lines. I meant to go into view lines. I can't recall facing them ever. Wow, Anaheim. Oh my god. Oh my god, they look bad. I just noticed that. Jeez, they don't look great. So the Philadelphia Flyers, what do they look like here in 2039? Philadelphia, how you looking? They have some players. They have a few players that I want to talk about. Skylar Reza is their first-line center. That is, I believe he was a trade deadline acquisition, 35 years of age. That is definitely an interesting pairing. because Mäkinen could probably play first line time. But they're looking scary here. Pollock. Brian Pollock. Is he Canadian? He's American. 92 overall. How many points in the regular season? 105. He's a machine. And then you got Yuri Denisov, who first overall pick in 2036, 20 years of age. He's coming into the postseason, maybe for the first time. Yeah, for his first ever postseason action. Okay, second line, they got Mäkinen, maybe brother of Samu. Maybe, I'm not sure. Then you got Lucas Jar, who is, holy Jesus, they've drafted well here. Second overall pick the year previous to Denisov. Now that is a player and a half. I'm scared of that. Then they got Avery Stafford. So the second line is just smoking. They might even be better than the first there. They got a good top six there. First line center is questionable, but they obviously are here for a reason. Third line, Connor Zary, who I have questioned picking up for the majority of this franchise mode. I feel whenever I needed a third line center, I was going to acquire him, but I never ended up doing that. Then they got Johan Sestito, and then Walker Cowan, former Columbus Blue Jacket. It's been a few years. We traded him to the Dallas Stars, and he ended up here in Philly, back in the Eastern Conference. Whenever we trade a player away to the West, he ends up back in the East. He's not a bad player for Philly, not the best defensive one. He was pretty good defensively on Columbus. He's not a bad overall player. That is a good third line. Fourth line, Olli Kukkonen, not the best. Yoshimura, and then you got Rob Mink, who is definitely that cornerstone of the fourth line with a high top six potential. That's kind of cool, actually. Defense. Okay, they have some guys here. Chad Popovich. That's how I'll pronounce it. Popovich. Chad Popovich. Fourth overall pick in 2034. They tanked there for a few years, but it seems to be working out in their favor. They are a young team. He looks to be a damn good defenseman. Then they got Carson Trojanovic, Philadelphia Flyers defenseman for 9 years, third overall pick in 2030. So that top pairing rivals ours. Our top two defensemen, Abel Carlos, Stukham, that is very similar to ours. Then they got Valcourt, but after Valcourt, not a great defense. So they put all their money in their guys, or their top three guys, so that might be their downfall here. Thompson, Lils, and then they got Houston. But it always comes down to goaltending. Their goalie. Tristan Da Silva. So they've not put a lot of effort into their goaltending. Any scratch players? Nobody that would fill in for any guys on the roster right now. So the goaltending is their greatest weakness. Their solid top three defensemen might even that out. But overall, we have the better team. A 96 overall goalie is their starter. We're the better team. But before I reminded myself, I want to check to see where or who is in for a period. Oh, yeah. Johansson. Johansson is in for Schwartz. Schwartz isn't playing a lot of extra line time, so we get Stukham back up there. I'll do that. That works for me. That'll be a pretty damn good pairing there. So, it's time for the first round of the Stanley Cup Playoffs. I'm done talking. 62-win season. We have home ice. They kind of just inch their way into the playoffs. We need to dismantle this team. Just go out there and do it, Columbus. Not a lot I can tell you. First period. 2-2. You let in a few goals there. Power play goal for Jar. Savoie ties it up on the power play. Former Blue Jacket Walker Cowan takes the lead. Joshua Waugh ties it pretty late. We lead in shots 14-9. Hoping for a better second period. I didn't get it. Jar scores his second of the evening. It's 3-2 Philly, and we outshoot them by 9, 28-19. Come on, Columbus. You should be running through this goalie power play. 5-on-3, an extended power play, and you can't get that done, Columbus? Holy crap, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me, Columbus? You should be running through this goaltender. Zach Paton, fourth liner, gets it done. Is that power play late? But we can't get it done. We have 40 shots, so this 76 overall goaltender is doing everything in his power. He's pulling, I don't know, I'm trying to think of a terrible goaltender in the playoffs. I can't Andrew Hammond for the Ottawa Senators in 2015? 2014? 2015. He's pulling that. Or I can't really recall right now, but we outshoot them by double. OT, come on, Columbus. Come on, Columbus. Get it done. Power play for Philly. They can't capitalize. That is a big momentum shift, and we get it done. MP3 in overtime. A close game one. Too close for comfort. Jar gets the first star, but MP3 was big for us. Not a great game for Kavanagh, but the offense helps us get it done in OT. He held on just long enough. We get a close one against Philly. Another OT win for this team. Okay, game number 2. I'm hoping for a better offensive output from this team. I don't want it to be close. First period. 4-1, and that is what I'm talking about. Jeffrey Woodworth, another power play goal. And another power play goal, the off-season acquisition, and Alexander Newhook doing exactly what we got him for. Khalil Fallon on the power play, so that is 3 straight power play goals. Watch out for a power play. It is very good. Makinen scores for Philly. Matthew Savoie makes it 4-1. We outshoot them over double. 16-7. Second period. 6-2. Jeffrey Woodworth, his second of the evening. Jar scores yet again. He is their player, I can tell. You know, him being matched up with Pro Horkin, I see why Jar would be getting so many good opportunities to score and burying the puck. I understand that. Bobby Friesen makes it a 4-goal game, 6-2. Shots are in our favor, 26-19. Third period, here we go. Settle it down. Power play early for Philly. And we get one. Zach Paton's second of the playoffs. 2 in 2 games. That is pretty big. He did come in clutch last game, the tying goal in the third. But that should be enough for the Blue Jackets to take a 2-0 series advantage heading back to Philadelphia. 46 shots, so we're getting a lot of shots off against their defense. 3 points, 2 goals for Jeffrey Woodworth. Another big game for the captain. Okay, let's head to Philly. The Wells Fargo Center still running smoothly, I'm sure. Broad Street Bullies. Philly's made a magic. They have come out of situations down 3-0 in a playoff series and winning the series against the Boston Bruins in 2010? 9. Can't recall. I'm usually pretty good at recalling dates, but right now, the only thing I care about is another Stanley Cup. Game number 3 is just whoop them. Just whoop their goalie. Mutilate him. First period. Okay, I see how it is, Kavanagh. You're just going to do that to me. Suglobov scores for Philly, and Ferglin makes it 2-0 on the power play. We outshoot them by 10, 18-8. Where is the offense? I don't know. Did they drink last night? I'm not sure. Have they had any water today? I don't know. Have they had a full meal? Probably not. Second period. 2-1. We get one on the power play. Jeffrey Woodworth, obviously, but it is too close for comfort. Shots are in our favor, 33-10. They had 2 shots that period. Their goalie is playing some hockey, even in his losses. He's been the deciding factor. Third period. Okay, Columbus. Let's get some offense going. Zari scores 3-1 Philly. 4-1. Kavanagh! God dang it. Really? Pro Horkin scores, but it might be too late for the Blue Jackets. Power play again for Philly. Can't get it done for Philly. We got a bit of time left. Giroux 3-4. Come on, Columbus. Somebody on this roster, get it done. Come on, it's late. Jeffrey Woodworth ties the game with 1 minute and 2 seconds remaining. That is 3 straight games with 40-plus shots. A 3-goal comeback in the third, heading into overtime. Get it done. We outshoot them by double, and it ends early. Joshua Waugh, a name I haven't seen in a few games. 18 seconds into OT, and you don't mess with this kind of offensive powerhouse. 3 points again for Jeffrey Woodworth. A shaky game for Kavanaugh, but we get the win nonetheless. Okay, we have a 3-0 series advantage over the Philadelphia Flyers. 7 points for Jeffrey Woodworth. Let's just keep it going, boys. We just got to keep this momentum rolling here in Philly. Shaky game last game, but we just need to head into this game. Clear conscience, play your game the way you play. Did I even say that right? Sure. First period. 1-0. Zari on the power play. 11 shots. They're kind of turning around this game. We do outshoot them 15-11. Kavanaugh, you got to be better. Offense, you got to be better. You cannot wait until the last minute. Second period. Damn. Popovich scores 2-0, and Jar makes it 3-0. They outshoot us by 1, 25-24. What is this game? Kavanaugh, you cannot be letting in 3 under 30. Are you kidding me? Where's the offense? They're leaving it to the last moment. Do not pull this. Goal early for Fallon. Make it a game. Stafford scores an early one for Philly as well. Power play for Philly. Yikes. Can we make another 3-goal comeback? Power play for Columbus. It's a little too late. Power play for Philly. Yeah, it's going to be too late for Columbus in this third period to get any momentum, any traction back. We will not be sweeping this team. They walk through us in Game 4. I don't want to give this team any momentum. We are the better team. Da Silva is 76 overall. You need to be putting up 6 goals against this guy every game. 6. He's 76 overall, and this game he played like a Vezina goalie. I know goalies have their once in a while fantastic game, even if they are a bad goalie. But we're heading back to Columbus with a chance to end the series. Don't give them anything else. Magnus Lundstrom has been hurt in the AHL. Head coach replaces player. I'm not too worried about that at this very moment. Game number 5. Here in Columbus, let's end it. Let's party on home ice. First period. 2-2. Kavanaugh, God, why are you so good in the regular season and then you turn around in the playoffs and you're god-awful? And then why years you're terrible in the regular season, you play like a Vezina goalie in the playoffs? Explain this to me, EA. I don't get it. Valcourt scores, making it 1-0. We scored 2 straight. Walker Farmer, his first as a Columbus Blue Jacket in the playoffs. Waugh scores as well. Popovich makes it a tie game. We outshoot them by double, 12-6. Second period. 6 to... What a high-scoring period. Kavanaugh, dude, this game would be out of reach if you could just close your 5-hole for 2 seconds. Oh my God. We score 3 straight there. Khalil Fallon on the power play. Abel Carlos, his first of the playoffs? I'm not sure. But he gets it done there. Giroux, Pollock makes it a game. Fallon scores another one this postseason. And then Denisov makes it a 2-goal game. First overall draft pick 2-3 seasons ago. Here we go. We outshoot them 28-13. Third period. I have no pep talk. You just got to get it done, Columbus. Score 1 here on the power play. Come on. Power play for Philly. And they make it a game. Suglobov. And then MP3 on the power play. Now that is how you connect. Kavanaugh. Jeez. Walker Cowan scores it 7-6. We still have the advantage. 5 minutes remaining. Power play late. Close it out. Come on. Empty netter for Alexander Newhook. That was too close for comfort. How many times do I have to say that, Kavanaugh? A terrible, terrible series from yourself. They were a good offensive team, but we should have just demolished them. We beat them in 5. That series should have been a lot stronger from each side of the ice. In our own... You know what I mean. You know what I mean. Henry Schwartz is back, which is good. We have completed the first round, but who will we be facing in round number 2? I'm sure it's a familiar face. Who is it going to be? It will be the Washington Capitals. Thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed this one, please leave a like, leave a comment, share with people who you think may enjoy this sort of thing. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.